I haven't jerked off in like 5 days. I have not jerked off in 5 days. This is the longest I've gone since like middle school. All right, so pray for me.
And rough. Right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Media Clash podcast, where we talk about everything from video games to movies to TV shows to whatever else tickles our fancy. In case you're wondering where my fancy is, it's right between my balls and my butthole. That's what I call it, my fancy. You may call it a taint, you know. Potato, apples.
Coffee table.
Cunt. All right, so let's go ahead and get some stuff started. What do we want to talk about, guys? We're going to talk about some Star Wars, because everybody wants to, except for Franklin.
I'll just sit here.
It's okay, Frank. We'll keep you entertained. So aside from, you know what, screw it. Let's just figure it out as we go. So Star Wars, start us off, somebody.
I'm just gonna say Franklin is probably the reason the theater lost its copy of Star Wars. His hate is what made UPS lose the copy that I was supposed to be watching today.
You were going to watch it today? I thought you were going to watch it tomorrow.
Well, no. From what I understand, I was told the encryption key came in today at around the same time the movie should have been there. So I would have got to see it today. I would have already seen it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't feel bad for you, because now you're just going to have to wait like all the normal muggles, like the rest of us, you bastard. So what's the deal? What do we want to talk about with this? I assume that outside of Frank, that we're all pretty stoked about this. Even you, Wayne. I mean, you do love to just hate on some movies that look really good.
I am quite in
anticipation. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me just go ahead and stop real quick, because I do want to say I've been purposefully like radio silent on the internet front, because I want to go in as like unknowing as possible. So please, if you guys screw that up, somebody will have to host the rest of the show without me, because I swear to God I will hit this button and I will disconnect, because we are
Somebody dies.
Close.
Somebody dies.
Shut up. We're so close. If you guys screw this up for me, I don't know if I will ever be able to forgive you. So, that being said, let's talk about it, what we think. If you know anything spoilery, if you think you might know something, whatever, just don't. So, now we can go.
No, I am in amazed anticipation for this movie. I don't even care if it's bad. I'm still gonna go watch it. I guess it's one of those like.
Well, the way I see it, it cannot be bad, because the standard that we're holding it, maybe some people are like, well, it better be better than JJ's Star Trek. Like, real Star Wars fans, we're not expecting that. I mean, honestly, this movie cannot fail, because the only thing it has to be better than is the prequels.
That's true.
I mean, I don't see how that could possibly... Annie! What are you waving your hand around like some sort of Jedi? That does not work on Toydarians. It's like, that can't possibly happen. It can't. Even if they genuinely are bad, like, nobody is gonna do that. They have that unruly hate of George Lucas, and I'm not saying it's not justified. Wayne, where you going when I'm talking to you? Sit down, young man. Don't make me turn this car. Sorry. Flashbacks. But no, I don't see how these could possibly fail. Don't make me go get mine, because I'll go get it.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna have a hangout lightsaber battle.
All right, somebody talk. Somebody be a host. I'll be right back.
I mean, this movie, and I didn't even find JJ's Star Treks bad. I liked them. It still preserved all the rest of the canon that we have had on the shows since like the '60s. That's all still happened, and JJ found a way to essentially reboot Star Trek and make it relevant again. And I think he'll be able to do that with this movie. I mean, they have to have some kind of confidence in it, as it is, as they have put so much advertising into this movie. I don't even think they're paying for advertising. I mean, I think companies are paying to associate themselves with this movie.
It makes sense. My daughter, who we've been trying to expose her to Star Wars in the last few weeks anyway, and so we watched episode 4 and 5, and like she was less than thrilled about them, obviously, because for a kid who, you know, you can see some pretty crazy, awesome looking action sequences on like Disney XD. Now, of course, I mean, you have Star Wars Rebels on there, which is really, really good. And then you go back and try to watch, like, freaking super awkward Darth Vader and super old man Obi-Wan very slowly, like, swing sticks around at each other. And it's not all that exciting when you're already spoiled and stuff. And we get it. Your toy's awesome.
I'm
Jeez.
undoing them. They're bending.
I just want to say real quick, like, that motion seems really natural for you. It seems like you've just put in a lot of hard work perfecting that skill, my friend. So anyways, whereas Frank has not been able to put in that type of hard work in the last 5 days. Oh, it's so cool. I hate you. Man, I would buy those, but they're probably super expensive, which means they would be $90 million more expensive for John.
$119 at a convention, Ultra Sabers.
Don't tell anybody that. No, just kidding. That's actually a really good deal. That's really cool. So she wasn't crazy about them, but then, like, just from the advertisements for The Force Awakens, she's like super stoked about it. It's like she didn't care about the other stuff, and then it's like, for breakfast, she's like, "Can I have my Star Wars yogurt? I want what the hell was it? It's like, I want Empire Berry, not whatever the other one was, like the different flavors and stuff." And we'll be at a store, and she'll just go, "BB-8, it's BB-8." And, like, she just knows who BB-8 is, and I'm just like, oh, so that's why they do that whole advertising thing. Because it works. Yeah. But yeah, I'm as excited as can be for this. I'm so stoked. You have no idea. I've been waiting for this for so long.
These new ones seem to be, like, grabbing the attention of a very more mainstream audience who have kind of probably looked down on Star Wars in the past.
As they should have after the prequels.
Yeah, my wife was never a big fan of Star Wars, but, like, she's, like, going through wanting to buy, like, the fucking Sith coats off of Mustard, that company that sells, like, the final...
Mustard brand.
Yes, Mustard brand. They have, like, these fucking awesome Sith coats and shit, and she's like, I want them.
Let me interject real quick. Wayne, you're married.
Yes.
And this is something that your wife is talking about, and you don't remember the name. I'm married. I've never heard of this. John, you're married. You've never heard of this. Frank, you're single. How do you know of this company?
Because they make some really cool merch, and
oh, okay. All right.
What I know them
I was just genuinely wondering.
What I know them for is like the Metal Gear merch they came out with earlier this year.
Yeah, the $90 messenger bag, Metal Gear Solid 5.
You got me excited because I heard you say Metal Gear, but my brain translated as Full Metal Alchemist, and I got really excited, and then immediately like, oh, I'm less enthusiastic. That's still cool, but oh.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Let's go!
How about the whole $150 BB-8 little figure that you control with your phone? Like,
yeah, those are cool. I had a buddy who bought a bunch of those right when they came out, and then he sold them for he bought them all at the normal price of like $150. He bought like 12 of them, and then he sold them on Amazon right after because everybody sold out. He was selling them for like $220, $230 a pop. That was really cool. Oh, hey, by the way, this isn't a real story, but I was gonna buy a Full Metal Alchemist jacket, but I didn't. You know why?
Why?
It was gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
Oh!
I guess that's a joke for people that have watched.
High five, Eric. High five.
Yay! High fives don't sound like click. I don't. This is proof of how incredibly uncool I've been my entire life. It's high five, click, clack, clack, rub, slap hands.
I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist, so I don't get the reference.
That's okay. You should watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and that'll be all right.
And it is on Netflix, so you have no excuse.
It's my favorite anime of all time. That being said, the very last season is not on Netflix. You'll have to watch that on like Funimation, but you can get like a 7-day free trial and knock that out in no time.
Which one is? You said Brotherhood. Do I watch the original one?
No, because the Brotherhood is the same thing. Like the first one, when they were making it, it was going on as they were writing the manga, and so they got caught up, and so they started having to do filler, and then it ended up getting canceled, and they never got to finish it. So when they did Brotherhood, which is 100% every single piece of it is by the manga. There's no filler at all. It's 100% by the manga, and it's also done after they changed everything to HD, so it's all widescreen and the proper aspect ratio and looks and sounds great. And in my opinion, I've gone back, not watched the entire thing, but I've watched certain specific episodes of Full Metal Alchemist to see the differences. And Brotherhood, in my opinion, is better. And I've had a lot of my friends who've seen both, and they're like, Brotherhood is better.
So I could just watch Brotherhood by itself and be fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, just for your reference, there it is. Keep it up.
And that being said,
it's good to go.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I need to watch Death Note as well still.
Yeah, as do I. But going back to Star Wars, although I love me some anime. Sidecast, anyone?
Yes, anime. The Anime Clash podcast.
Anaclash.
Annie.
Sometimes. Annie. God.
Works on so many levels.
Yeah, we're stupid. So, Frank is exhausted. Do we want to keep going on about the Star Wars stuff? I do.
We haven't really touched much. We haven't really touched much.
We really haven't at all. But he's still like losing his mind over there. Frank, why do you not like Star Wars?
Okay, so the first
Or
time
why
I
are you
watched...
indifferent?
All right. So first time I watched Star Wars, I was about 10 years old. All right. You know, the audience that might actually like Star Wars
Sounds
when they
about
watch it, right?
So like 10 years ago.
Yeah. So I watch it, and didn't really get it. Didn't really get the appeal. I thought it was stupid.
When you say you watched it, which one did you watch?
I watched the original trilogy.
So
I thought he was going to say episode 1 for a second.
Okay, so 4, 5, and 6. And now you said that this was when you were 10. What year was it when you were 10?
Shit, you're gonna really date me here.
Okay, how about this?
2004. 2004. Yeah,
Well, let's think.
2004.
What's your birth date?
Oh my God! I'm so
Birthday is
Shut
94.
up. Shut up.
Birthday's 94, and then you
Shut
just
up,
go,
Eric.
oh, I'll just add as 2004.
Yeah, I was counting backwards like a fucking freak.
Idiot. Yep. All right. So 1994. I'm trying to think when I watched it the first time. It's a pretty early memory. I was probably, it's probably like 5 or 6, which would have been like 1990, 1991. And that being said, I mean, I maybe it's a small. I don't know. To me, it's not. It's from if you're used to seeing movies and or even TV shows from 1990 or 91 as opposed to 94 or 95, like there's a big jump in quality of what you're used to. And I mean, obviously they were dated when I was watching it, but I was obviously also much younger than 10. So if I was watching them when I was 10, which would have been 95. Wait, so Frank, I thought you were way younger than me. How old are you, Frank? You 29?
21.
No, he watched them in 2004.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. You were
I
born
watched
in
them.
94. You were 1 when
Yes.
I was 10. I was so confused. I was like, wait a second.
No.
Oh,
No.
I'm getting old.
You're dumber than you look.
You wee little lass. Look at you. Man, you're sitting there talking about you haven't shaved your pubes in however long and all this garbage. I didn't even know you had pubes yet. Are you kidding me? 21? You probably got that smooth as a baby's bottom. But
Don't think about his bottom.
so anyways, geez, so we're talking about 2004? Well, to God, no wonder. You freaking what was on TV in 2004? What movies were out? You're talking about like that's post-Minority Report. 2004. Jeez, dude, you knew what special effects were. First of all, you were if I had seen it in 94, 95 when I was 10,
What
I probably
you're
would have been a
doing,
little shaky on it.
what
but
you're doing
you-
right now is making excuses.
No, it's no.
There are old
So here's the
movies
thing.
that hold up, and old
There are.
movies that I like.
However,
Star Wars is not a movie that I like.
it's just fact that a sci-fi film, that's very hard for that to hold up against age.
I still
Because
like Twilight Zone.
You still like what?
I still like the Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone's different. That doesn't rely upon special effects. It relies upon story and acting, all of that stuff. That's why Citizen Kane, still an amazing film, has no real special effects. Maltese Falcon, same way. You know, you look at Jaws. Jaws is not even remotely scary nowadays. Are you kidding me? People laugh their butts off at that. When it first came out, people were terrified. Horror movies or sci-fi or even heavy fantasy, you can go back. I remember watching Lord of the Rings in theater, being like, holy crap, this is ridiculous. This is amazing. This looks real. I watched it on TV a couple of months ago, and I was like, wow, this looks really dated. Like, special effects do not age well at all. It depends on how you're using them. Spielberg stuff, early Spielberg stuff with like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, that stuff is easier because they use a lot of practical effects. But this is literally outer space and people using lightning out of their hands and laser swords. That's not going to hold up. I mean, for crying out loud, the prequels, which I think the last one was released in 2003, Revenge of the Sith, I want to say it was 2003, those look terrible now. I mean, hell, in my opinion,
But-
half the stuff in the original trilogy looks better than the stuff in the prequels.
The prequels looked bad when they came out.
I don't know. I don't know.
They looked even worse when they came out like on when you saw them in HD, and you can actually see how bad.
Oh, they look pretty bad in VHS. I don't know.
They looked even worse in HD because like the effects really popped
Frank,
out. You're like, oh, that
VHS
looks
is
real.
what DVDs used to be. It was a rectangular tape, and it had these little. Okay, all right, just making sure. Just making sure.
Hold
No,
on,
no, no,
hold
no,
on,
no.
hold on.
I've got all that beat. No. I owned them on Betamax.
Old man without Twitter.
I'm sorry, but between John and his hockey and you and your Betamax, I think you guys are just making up alternate histories. I've never heard of these things. What in the world? I would believe. What was that other one? The high def laser discs or whatever. The big
Laserdisc, yeah.
The big
the
laser-
giant CDs that were the size of like oversized frisbees.
Yes.
I think you can get coffee tables made out of them now.
Hold on a second, Eric. Hold on a second. I want to roll back a bit because the question was.
God, if we're going back to hockey, I swear to God,
The question was.
I'm not wasting any more time on your fictitious fairy tale.
Shut your fucking mouth. The question was, Franklin, why don't you like Star Wars? It turned into a VFX battle. The man has yet to tell us why he doesn't like Star Wars.
Yes. Thank you, Johnny. Eric,
Hashtag Johnny's a dick.
keep your fucking mouth shut until I'm done.
Hashtag Frank's a dick too. 2 O's.
All right. So first, watching Star Wars, I was told ahead of time that hey, the special effects might not be that great, but just pay attention to what this movie is saying, and like pay attention to the plot and how like awesome apparently the space politics bullshit was.
Oh no, that's not awesome. Space politics is the worst. That's the worst part
it
of
was
it.
bad.
I don't
It
even
was
remember
bad.
Whoever told you that should be shot in the face.
You know what? A lot of people should be shot in the
into
face.
space.
I'd love to do them.
They should be shot in the face into space.
You know-
Their face should be shot into space, and then John Travolta and Nick Cage will come, and they'll battle over the face in space, and then they'll come back, and them and Rick Moranis will go have a workout party time with. Hey
Into the
guys, I
base
got
of your
Tex
dick.
Mex.
It'll be into the base, the face, into space, the base of your dick.
Are you done?
Okay, go ahead, sweetheart.
Whoa.
So, I watched these movies. Didn't really like. I watched them and I didn't like them. I just
Which is
couldn't
okay. That's
grasp.
fine.
I couldn't grasp this idea of this space fantasy where there were these wizards with laser sticks.
It's understandable. It's understandable.
Like that didn't click with me. Like, why the fuck do you have a space movie? Space itself is interesting enough. Why the fuck do you have a space movie with
Why
fucking
not,
wizards that have
You were
laser
on
sticks?
Twitter earlier today. You said, "I hope Star Wars bombs." Blah blah blah. Something about encourage original content. First of all, Episode 7 is super original content because if not for a whole bunch of people trying desperately to save this IP from George Lucas, like the people tried to save the Jews from Hitler, yeah, I'm going there. Okay, I'm going there.
Whoa.
If not for that, then we would not have this, okay? And this is literally going, hey, all that expanded universe stuff, which is great, by the way. I love the expanded universe. They're like, that is no longer canon. We're going in a new direction. This is the first time since when was Return of the Jedi? 1982?
I was bored.
I think it was
82 or
1982.
83. Yeah.
Yeah. When was Return of the 83? Thank you. Love you. My wife, massive Star Wars nerd, way bigger than I. In fact, she should be here in my spot right now. She's also much more attractive. Yeah. So, anyways, 83. Okay, this is the first time since 1983 that anyone will be watching a Star Wars movie and doesn't know the plot. They don't already know how the story's going to end. No idea. Luke could die in the first 5 minutes of this movie. Maybe that's not why he's in the trailers. He could be the bad guy. Maybe that's why you don't see him in the trailers. I mean, it could be a million different things, and we don't know. That's exciting to me. This is new. This is uncharted territory for whether you agree with like the movies being good or not. This is one of the largest pop culture phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
You had it right.
Things.
Phenomenon.
Okay, like screw apple pie, Star Wars. Okay, like that cinnamon buns on the side of your head. Everyone knows this. Okay, I mean it's a big deal. And taking away all the other stuff of how you feel of the other Star Wars movies. I mean, you've said in the past that you're just not super into movies and stuff like that anyways, of other things that we've talked about. So, I mean, I just want to know, can you really objectively look at the trailers and not look at it as though like that does look impressive? Like, did you enjoy the Star Trek films, or did you enjoy Lord of the Rings movies or The Hobbit or anything like that?
The films were fine, and I've always loved Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has always been something I liked.
So to me, Star Wars feels like Star Trek and Lord of the Rings. It feels like sci-fi fantasy. It's not super high fantasy, and it's not like super techie sci-fi. It's like you're blending the two together. You have your sci-fi elements of space and spaceships and lasers and all this other stuff, but blending that in with traditional swordplay. Which, I mean, part of the whole reason of the genesis of how George Lucas thought about this was blending sci-fi with what was it, 7 Samurai or 37 Ronin? It was one of the two.
7 Samurai.
Thank you. And so, I mean, to me, it's a really cool blending. Like, take out Star Wars, anything pre-Star Wars, there's nothing like that. And even since Star Wars, even Star Wars itself has yet to replicate that type of success and phenomena. It's an awesomeness. So this is kind of ridiculous. And I like I said, all they have to do is beat the prequels, and I know that's going to happen. But I have a lot of trust and faith in this. I think it's going to be really, really good. That being said, Frank, totally cool if you don't like it or if you don't get it. But, I mean, if you like some of this other fantasy stuff, I don't see... I get the whole I want to see original stuff, but I don't see how you can possibly look at this and just be 100% uninterested.
It's simple. I didn't like Star Wars.
It's simple.
Why should I go to a new Star Wars movie if I didn't like the previous fucking... all of them?
It's different. Have you ever eaten at a restaurant? Have you ever eaten at a restaurant that used to be open, but now it's open under new management, and now it's like totally way better?
No, just the opposite.
No, because I don't go to bad restaurants that have to close.
Eric, just, you know what? He's not gonna get into it.
I'm gonna concede. I'll give up.
It's completely understandable though, because I mean, there are things that I refuse to see now because they're just horrible. Like I said, I don't pay to see Transformers. So Franklin's like, Star Wars. I can get that. Like, people have their likes and their dislikes. But you're right, Eric. Star Wars is basically, it's a genre unto itself. It is high sci-fi fantasy, is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people, it's not their thing. And really, a lot of people who were on board with Star Wars when it first came out were young. You had an older audience that liked it, but you had a lot of those young kids that saw it back then. Frank saw it when he was young, but he saw it in a different era.
Much different.
And I can understand why it might not have clicked with him.
Yeah.
The same way a lot of original content that people put out nowadays just don't click with people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same reason as to why I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of what's currently on the radio. I'm now an old man, and I'm just like, well, back in my day, of course, I just want to say back in my day, music was awesome because you can't. The prime of like me discovering music was during the Seattle grunge movement with Nirvana. It was during the Black Album by Metallica. I mean, I'm sorry, I refuse to believe. It was right around Green Day comes out, this underground thing out of no. Do you have the time? All this different. Like, I'm sorry, like baby, oh, like that. It doesn't. It's no.
In his defense, that song is probably about 5-10 years old by now.
In his defense, he looks like he's 5 or 10 years old right now. So
no, now he looks like a lesbian.
There is no defense for him.
He doesn't wear enough flannel to look like a lesbian. That being said, like Franklin, what you're talking about, you do like Lord of the Rings and everything. It was weirding me out. My wife used to be a school teacher, and there were kids in her 7th grade class who had never seen Lord of the Rings. So, just like that's how I want you to understand. Of like I still love you, buddy. I still love you. I'm still gonna help you shave your pubes later. But that being said, you have to understand the absolute like disconnect in my brain of like how can he not. So imagine like a kid, like a 16-year-old kid, and he's just like, Frodo Baggins, more like Dildo Saggins. Oh, I'm just like, come on, you can't tell me you wouldn't want to punch that kid in the face just a little bit.
Frodo Teabaggins.
Oh,
Invisible Crash. Guys, I wanted to quickly bring up something that I saw on Twitter the other day, and if anyone follows me, they probably saw me retweet it. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever related to Star Wars. And it was hashtag was explain a film plot badly. So for Star Wars, they said deadbeat dad tries to get his son to take over the family business.
That's not that bad, actually. That's pretty on the nose.
That's pretty spot on. I laughed my ass off when I read
that's maybe the synopsis for Empire Strikes Back. You'd have to break them down into like A New Hope. That's not New Hope's plot.
No. It didn't say which Star Wars. It just said Star Wars, which is fine. It does. You're picking at too much. It's only 140 characters. I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's surprising how accurate that is, and yet also really funny at how not that difficult it would be to apply that to like Footloose. You know, not really Footloose, but I mean, just kind of, I don't know. Dirty Dancing? No, I don't know.
It's just funny to hear the complicated synopsis turned into that.
Yeah.
Turn off your fucking PlayStation.
It's not a PlayStation. It's a smartphone. Gosh, man. Jeez, Granddad, why don't you wake up over there? Think you're Metamucil. Go change your depends. Nobody can hear. I don't know. Right.
So I think when we talk about Star Wars, it would be a great way to segue into the TV topic of great animated television shows, because you have
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Hey, look at that.
You have Rebels and Clone Wars, which were great shows
they were.
You know, appeal to a very broad audience, and I think animation in general appeals to a very broad audience.
It's an awesome audience.
Yeah, like a lot of things translate way better in animation than they do live action DC universe in general.
Yeah, Avatar, The Last Airbender. Let me say, not Blue Creatures or anything like that. Legend of Korra, freaking fantastic. Batman the Animated Series, the greatest American anime of all time.
Yes, animated series.
Which once again goes back to Mark Hamill just saying hashtag Star Wars.
It's all connected.
Mark Hamill getting to play the Trickster on The Flash, basically Mark Hamill getting to play the Joker live action.
Basically, yeah, without the makeup.
Yeah.
But it's true, though. Like, if you look at a lot of these animated shows, a lot of them are, like, so grown adults are always watching these animated shows because the plots and the stories are just so good. Like, you're so engaged with them. And I'm actually trying to find more animated shows to get into because there's so many good ones. I don't know where to start.
If you haven't started watching Star Wars Rebels, check that out. It's really good. And per your recommendation, I want to start the newer TMNT. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard it's good.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. It is fantastic right now.
Is it on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix, but it follows, like, it actually it's probably the closest thing to the comics. It has some stuff from the comics while connecting some stuff from the 90s. Like, it's kiddie, like the 90s, but there's a lot of stuff that they take directly from the books.
This is my new kitten. Her name's Oreo.
Nice pussy.
She's awesome. Say hi.
My cat's called Kirby, and she's sleeping in the closet.
You can't hear her, but she's awesome.
Back to animated shows. Yes, you definitely need to watch the new Ninja Turtles. It's on season 4, I think, and the current
season 4. Ooh, I can binge watch it over the holidays. I'm happy.
The current plot is
new teenage. Is it just TMNT or is it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? What is it?
The full word Ninja Turtles.
Full word?
No, that's fuck you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We need to start watching it. John Bernardo says it's good. The Canadian, not the rapist. Was it a rapist or was it a serial killer? It's a rapist serial killer. You know, it turns out I don't think one's worse than the other. I mean, one's definitely worse than. We need to watch Ninja Turtles.
Yes, so it's awesome. And
Johnny Dreamer.
I'm gonna change my Twitter name again soon.
Stop doing that. Nobody can keep up with you. Quit it. Stop.
Like anybody really cares about me.
I care about you. Your wife cares about you. I'm almost positive about that.
I
still have not seen. You guys have seen my wife. Frank's definitely seen my wife. We all seen Wayne's wife. How come we haven't seen your wife? I want to see your wife. You don't have to like bring her in right now, but like, come on, pull up something on the phone. Come on, something to reward our video viewers. Both of them.
I don't have consent. I don't have signed consent.
You don't have consent? All right, that's it. I'm pulling up Facebook. I'm gonna find this one.
You can go ahead, pull up Facebook, and you'll find out that I don't have it.
You don't have a Facebook?
I deactivated it. It's a waste of time.
You deactivate it? You can do that? Can you do that?
Yeah, you
can do
can get rid of Facebook.
I thought it was like you just like you couldn't. I thought it just was like we got this sucker.
It may be only a Canadian only option.
I was gonna say it makes sense just to give up so easy and be so nice and courteous about it. Like, you don't want us to have that? Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. That's good. That's good. America's like, hey, look, man, you gave me these photos. I ain't gonna give them up, right? You don't want them back anyway. There's a whole bunch of fluid that you don't even know what that is anymore.
So there's 2 Star Wars animated shows. Which is the one? Is it Rebels? What's the other one? Clone Wars?
Clone Wars was out originally. That was back before Lucas sold the rights to Disney. Once he sold the rights, they kind of needed to stop that because not that it wasn't doing well. It was really good. It was fantastic. It was actually getting better and better every single season, but it did not tie in with where Disney wanted to go, and so they kind of had to shut that down real quick and then bring up a new thing. Which some of the characters, without any spoilers, some of the characters that were in Clone Wars have been already featured in Rebels.
Yeah, because it's the same people that did Clone Wars that are doing Rebels.
Yeah. So that being said, it is much better than Clone Wars. Not that Clone Wars was bad. It's just so good from the very get-go. It looks and feels and sounds like the original trilogy without coming off as looking super crappy. Somehow they were perfectly able to blend the older retro look but make it look new and sci-fi. It basically looks like a really lived-in universe, whereas Clone Wars and all that stuff just looked like tons of green screen and everybody playing with plastic gloves on, basically.
So should I just skip Clone Wars, go straight to Rebels?
I would say, yeah. If you ever got time at some point, I would go back.
Watch the last season of Clone Wars on Netflix.
I don't do that. It's either I watch it all or I watch Netflix.
Well, no, because the last season was made
as a lead-in.
Yeah, there's only 6 episodes of the last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah, they'd already canceled it. I think they originally didn't even air them.
No, they were just strictly. They came out on. Yeah, they strictly came out on Netflix. But it was basically the wrap-up, and it does. The Yoda episodes are pretty awesome as far as explaining the Force and things like that. So for those reasons, you watch that last season.
Yeah, but, and also just as standalone episodes because they really don't have a big, huge tie into anything else. But the Darth Maul episodes are so good, so good. Anything on Dathomir is really good. Well,
they don't have Rebels on Netflix, so maybe I'll just watch Clone Wars just for that.
No, Rebels just started its 2nd season, so I mean it's so good, so good. And Freddie Prinze Jr. does one of the lead voices, and he does a fantastic job. I love me some Freddie Prinze Jr. He does a great job. Steve Bloom does one of the characters, and he doesn't sound like Spike. So not that there's anything wrong with that, because I love Spike. But yeah, the whole cast is really, really good. That being said, Frank, I love you.
Frank, let's Star Wars aside, what are some of your favorite animated shows that people just gotta watch?
Love me some Archer.
Yes,
Love me
Archer's
some
so
Bob
good.
Burgers.
You just love that guy, huh?
Yeah, I love that guy. He's pretty cool. Also, Death Note is another big one for me. Trying to think that I watched Metal Alchemist.
Did you hear there's gonna be a live-action Death Note?
No, I didn't.
There already is 2 of them in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, but technically there's also a full live-action
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan, and
it's horrible.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it, but from everything I've seen and read,
there's a live-action Rama 1/2 that I refuse to ever watch. That would just be terrible. If you don't know what Rama 1/2 is, it's really good. Look it up on Wikipedia. And, I think it was basically the series that was right before Inuyasha. Same, the Rumiko, whoever the hell did Rama did Inuyasha, the manga and all that stuff. So the animation style and a lot of the voices are the same.
But yeah, my childhood.
Stop interrupting Frank.
You know what? Fuck. Stop!
You gotta do like John. You just have to say the F-bomb a bunch of times and tell me to shut my mouth.
Shut your fucking mouth, you piece of shit! God
Well,
damn
that's
it.
not what you said the other night. I'm sorry, but whatever.
The other
get on those
whatever.
knee pads for you.
Screw it. My childhood stuff that I watched. You know what? I'm not gonna let you phase me. Fuck you.
He's gonna. Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to rip the headphones off and just walk off screen, and then he just never comes back. And we're like, Frank.
Yeah. Good luck getting a topic out of me. Yeah, my childhood stuff that I really enjoyed, Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I was a kid when that came out, and it was so dumb, but I loved it.
That was great.
I liked Digimon. I love
I knew that was
Digimon.
coming on.
I love Digimon way more than Pokemon.
Of course you did.
Did you have the Tamagotchi to go with it?
I'm sorry. The original Pokemon, that was some good stuff right there.
It was good, but I just felt like Digimon was better and it had better movies.
Well, of course it's better. It comes out and it goes, oh, hey, it's a cool premise. We're going to steal that crap and we're going to put some cool little different twist on it.
Franklin, did you watch the new Digimon that apparently came out? That's apparently amazing.
No, but that's on my watch list.
Speaking of watches, what about Yokai Watch? Is that any good? Anybody seen that? I've heard things.
I heard it's too kiddie. Like, it's very, very kiddie.
Says the grown man who was talking about TMNT, other grown man who's talking about Batman the Animated Series, and Captain Transformers over here that has like freaking death threats out for Jerry Bruckheimer. Not that I'm saying that's not justified.
Not Jerry Bruckheimer, Michael Bay.
Yeah, but there's plenty,
First of all,
plenty of grown men that...
Let's slow it down, okay? If Michael Bay wasn't so good at making Michael Bay films, there wouldn't be so much evidence for you to complain that he's making the same movie with less greatness over and over. Because I just want to say, The Rock with Sean Connery and Nick Cage, it's pretty hard to make a really good Nick Cage movie, but he did it, damn it. That was a good film right there.
There are quite a few good Nick Cage movies. That's not an argument.
Did Michael Bay do Crimson Tide as well?
I don't think so.
Or was that the other Bay brother, the one who jumped off the thing into the bay?
No, that would be the Ridley Scott and his brother Tony Scott.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Tony Scott. I think Tony Scott did it. Either way. Michael Bay has made some good movies. That being said, let me put it this way. The Transformers movies that I've seen, which is 1 and 2, weren't bad. But by the time 3 came out, I was just like, I just have no fucks left to give for this. But they're not terrible films. They're like Call of Duty games. They're not bad games. They're great quality. That being said, an experienced gamer who likes, density and quality, consistency, all that type of stuff, isn't going to be really down for that. So, it's not bad. It's not bad. If it was bad, they wouldn't keep making them. It's making money. It can't be bad.
Just make them shorter.
Stop
They're
waiting.
too long. They're too long. They're 2.5. Almost. The last one was almost 3 hours. Like, that's too long.
How long is that in Canadian time?
It's 3.5 hours.
Okay, all right. I thought it would be less. I thought the American version equals less Canadian versions, and so you had to like stack them up, like tiny little Russian dolls.
More here, so you just make it more.
Shut up, Frank's trying to talk. I'm sorry, Frank. He's so rude. He's reformed Canadian, apparently. Oh, sorry, eh?
With the exception of Wayne, you can all fuck off.
Whereas Wayne can actually just chung tonight. Okay.
It would have been great if Franklin just logged off right after that comment. They'd be just like, "You fuck off." We're like, "Is he pissed?" I don't know.
Where was I even? Oh, I lost myself because of you.
Digimon.
Yes, Digimon. Alright. I listed Yu-Gi-Oh! Digimon. Fuck. God damn it.
Did you have the Digimon toys?
Dragon Ball! Dragon Ball, you motherfuckers!
What about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z? Or
all of it.
Really? So you're
all the Dragon Balls.
Sorry, you've lost me. If you're supporting Dragon Ball GT, you can.
I love all the Dragon Balls.
You're dismissed, sir. You were dismissed.
I've never even seen GT.
Congratulations.
Well,
how about the new one, Super?
I've heard that's supposed to be good. I've heard it's actually supposed to be good. Yeah.
Franklin.
I was all for. I will agree with Franklin. Yu-Gi-Oh! As a premise was pretty awesome. If
the card game was
great. If you'd have had like a board where like you could actually put the cards down and like the little holograms would have popped up.
Oh, you mean like on Star Wars? You mean like on Star Wars? If you were playing something, holograms would come out once again. It's just Star Wars shaping our humanity with the beautiful little fluffing hands. Franklin, if you don't come back and sit down, when we get your audio to edit, we're going to make it look like it's offbeat, and then we're going to put subtitles under you like it's really poorly, it's a really badly done kung fu movie. And it's going to be really funny because it's incredibly racist. It's also very funny because I'm saying all this shit before you can hear me. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Dude, he talks so much shit about you, you're going to have to listen back after.
Oh no, we're actually going to have views now because Franklin's going to go back and actually listen.
Controversy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Contra, and I was like, hell yes.
I loved me some Contra.
I hated dying, but it's a fun game. It's a fun game.
Couldn't get past level 2.
Anything other than that animated? Any hentai stuff
shut up.
out there?
I'm gonna shut up.
I'll
hate all
stop.
of you.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you guys live
Hey,
close to
all-
each other. He's gonna come to you and he's gonna shit on your bed.
As long as he doesn't come on me and shit on my bed, because that would just be those two things should not be combined. That's gross. Gross.
All I'm gonna say is about animated things. A lot of times when we watch them, a lot of people shit all over the original Transformers cartoons. And if they actually would go back and watch them, I'm sorry, but that shit started dealing with some pretty deep issues. By that third season, they were talking about Transformers gods and stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just because you're dealing with quote-unquote deep issues doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. The prequels for Star Wars dealt with very deep political military strategy issues. Not good.
No.
Going back to Star Wars. Star Wars also introduced an older woman flirting with a young child, and eventually.
Yeah. Not only did they introduce like the creepy preteen.
Pedophilia?
Yeah. Not only did they increase, but in the original trilogy they had incest with the whole brother sister making out. Spoilers for anybody who is
No!
That was something that Lucas screwed up in the afterthought, because if you go look at the original planned sequel...
Whoa, Lucas messed something up with Star Wars after the fact?
If you go look at the original sequel, they were not intended to be siblings.
So if it wasn't for Star Wars, there'd be no Game of Thrones.
But that being said, I do want to say that it's not like... I'm trying to think. Did she... she kissed Luke on the cheek in the first one, which was probably written before they were intended to be siblings. However, in the movie where they're revealed to be... No, wait, no, that's not true. That was in
third
6. Either way, I'm sorry. You can't tell me the amount of time that passed between 2 and 3, that third movie was probably already written. Like, you're putting a smoochy smooch scene, and then the weird cuddly thing with the amputated hand at the end, in the little bathrobe.
Honestly, all she was actually trying to do was make Han jealous. I mean, that's all that kiss was for.
That's what I do. When I try to make my wife jealous, I finger my mom. That's what I do. I just
Oh!
that bean. Right.
Oh, God.
makes Thanksgiving dinner really weird. But that being said, the yams tasted great.
What the fuck?
I regret nothing.
Let's move on to video games, shall we?
That's recorded, documented. I'm sending that to your wife and your mother.
You really think that's gonna shock either one of them? They'll probably be like, "Yeah, sweetie, that's gross," but not gonna be shocked.
Franklin, video games. What's up?
Whoa! No. Wayne didn't do his anime. I didn't do my anime.
Oh, okay, fine. Hurry up.
I'll come up with
We already heard
something.
Transformers. Go ahead.
Alright,
Shout out
so
to Teen
as
Titans.
far as anime, any Gundam is my drug of choice.
Gundam
Universal-
Wing.
Nope, not Gundam Wing. Nope. Anything
Okay.
Universal Century. Anything Universal Century. Yeah, you see, there's multiple
What does that
Gundam timelines.
I'm aware of
That's
this.
how
'Cause
you have
I didn't-
Universal Century, Gundam Wing, and Endless Waltz are its own separate,
as they should be, because those are
alternate
fantastic.
timeline.
Fantastic.
Alternate timeline.
And then before that is where everything looked like Robocross or Robotech and Macross.
Yeah, that's because it was all made in like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, everything looked like crappier versions of Voltron.
How
And
about
all the
also,
women had like these really
They made
awkward
good-
long chins.
I can't help it if Japan made awesome robot cartoons.
You know the reason why there was a massive jump in the quality of Japanese animation from like 70s to like late 80s, early 90s. Do you know why?
Why?
I was trying to think, where was I watching it? It was a documentary on Netflix. I can't remember what. It was actually, so Japan has a much more thriving animation cinema than we do, because I mean over there it's not just for kids and blah blah blah. We're getting there, but over there there's full on big massive theatrical releases for stuff, like the Fatal Fury movie, which was awesome. Like over here, nobody's going we didn't even make the BioShock movie. Over there, they're like, oh, hey, here's this Super Nintendo game, this Neo Geo game. Let's make a movie out of it. And it was good, by the way. What up, Terry Bogard? So, anyway,
didn't even know they made a movie.
yeah. Actually, there was 2 TV movies, and then one actually, the motion picture, which was released in cinemas, which is very, very good. So, that being said, they knew that they wanted to step up their animation, and so what they did is they actually took a lot of their artists and they actually paid for them to come over to the States and start to learn how to do like Disney-style animation, because the quality of Disney is just immense. And so they have tons and tons of like stuff where they were going over to learn how to do like the older Disney stuff, like the Snow White stuff, or that older junk like that. And so that's where a lot of them were able to take that and mix that with their current style, and that's where you have this really awesome, cool, stylized, really pseudo-realistic / giant, manga eyes and all this other stuff. But yeah, that's why.
Everybody was texting while you were talking.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there watching these things pop up, and it's not like I don't say anything important anyway. But I feel bad because I'm not listening to you guys, assholes.
We didn't want to cut you off.
What about anime shows? What about animated shows that aren't Japanese animation?
There's a non what?
That have
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the best American animated show ever.
Yeah, I stopped watching that after season 8 or 9. I should probably finish them.
That and South Park. South Park this season has been phenomenal.
Yep.
Here's my thing. There's so incredibly few non-Japanese animated stuff that isn't like adult comedy. Like we have Archer. Archer's great, but it's a comedy. It's a dirty comedy, which is great. That's what we love about it. Same thing with South Park. I was never huge into Aqua Teen Hunger Force because it kind of just got on my nerves. But then you look at not everybody likes to bash Family Guy now because Seth MacFarlane's the new Dane Cook. But you
Family
like an original episode for like 300 times. But that being said, I can't, outside of Batman the Animated Series, I can't even come close to, I can't think of anything that even comes close to that in quality. I would say The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, but those are all American created, but the actual animation is done in South Korea, I believe. So that's technically...
Most of the animation for American shows are done in Asia. Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons is all done overseas.
Well, I just mean like those aren't. That's not something that's attempting that style. Whereas Legend of Korra and Avatar: The Last Airbender are both very much so. That's the style they're going for. So that's what I mean. Not that there's anything wrong with outsourcing or whatever you would call it, because creatively all of it is still 100% American and stuff. Not that that necessarily matters, but to me, I don't know. It's kind of like music-wise. Outside of Metallica, all of my favorite bands are it's either like J-rock, J-pop, Euro metal, like speed, melodic poppy metal, or really heavy Swedish metal with like Children of Bodom, or Sonata Arctica used to be good, but good God, they've really gone downhill.
Eric, do you like soil work?
What's that?
Do you like soil work?
I'm trying to think. I do, but I to be perfectly honest, I always get them mixed up with Soiled and one other band that has a similar name, and I get mixed up with which things are what. But yes, that is super badass that you had the lead singer featured on one of your tracks. I saw that and I was like,
me and him were bros. We're bros.
Before your hose, who I still have not seen a picture of, so I don't know if she actually exists. So my anime stuff, obviously Batman animated series. And I'm gonna go a little old school here on you. Original Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Which there's a difference.
You don't say.
Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts, which had Vincent Price. Nice, I'm digging it. Oh, hell yeah, I mean, she's doing the devil horns and everything. Is she blonde? Looks blonde. Or is that brown? What color's her hair? Is that blonde or brown? Blonde? Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Let me see here. What's new, Scooby-Doo? A pup named Scooby-Doo? Outside of those.
Me and my homie.
All right, y'all. We're running late. Nice. I gotta go.
All right. Awesome. Okay. And cutting the other stuff short, I'll say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm trying to think. There's another that I'm totally forgetting. Blue Exorcist is fantastic. But anyways, aside from that, Star Wars, yay. Animation, yay. Wayne, he already left. Oh, it was so fast. I know, right? But his wife's also very attractive, so I understand.
I wish he had a Twitter so we could yell at him. But
hey,
Let's
that's
just-
not nice. Don't talk about another man's wife's area like that. That's not nice.
Let's
Making
just
up
hashtag
words.
Old Man Wayne and just get it trending.
It doesn't matter. He's never gonna know.
I know, but
What's
like we can take
what's the point of being
screenshots.
internet famous if you're so disconnected you don't even know about it? So ironic. So Frank, is there anything in passing very quickly that you want to let out real fast before we go?
We're gonna talk about games.
are we?
I mean, we don't have
We can
to.
talk about games some other time.
We can.
It's fine.
We can go.
Audience
My wife is
mem- audience
I mean,
members-
our last show was all
So-
about games, so
That's true. That's true. We'll skip it this week.
God, don't bring up last show. I want to pretend like that didn't happen. It was like The Matrix Part 3 or Indiana Jones 4 or the first 3 Star Wars
Which one of
films.
us turned into Jesus?
Or Frank talking about his pubes earlier. Wait, one of us was Jesus? Who was Jesus? You'd have to be you. You get that beard, man. You get that Jesus beard.
That's right.
I think. I don't
I got
know.
the
Did
hair.
Jesus have a beard? I don't know.
Yes, he
I'm not
did.
gonna lie. I'm straight up jelly on that hair. It's just how do you do that, man?
Yeah.
Man, it's like, did Frank come in that? Is that how you get it to hold like that? Because I don't have as much volume as you because it's shorter. But man, mine just doesn't. Do you have the time to listen to me? No, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry, Frank.
yeah.
My hair's pretty tall.
I need to get my hair taller.
Yeah. You need to shave. You're getting out of control there.
Yeah, well, for military, he absolutely is.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, take us away.
All right, cool. Well, hey guys, it's the best we got. Until next time, it's the best we got. Because next time we're gonna try to have better. But
What is our
guarantee
plan for next week? Are we going to record next week?
Oh, next week's
actually,
Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say let's take a week off. I feel like we're so high quality right now that we should pull it back a notch and save some of our ideas. I feel like we're blowing our load a little bit.
Maybe
All
I'll
right.
come back.
All right, to the 3 people listening, we will not be here next Wednesday. Apologies, and Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays, or Happy Kwanzaa. I don't even know.
Just the happiest of days to you. That being said, we're gonna dismiss ourselves. We're gonna exit stage left or right, if you're dyslexic, depending on whichever way. So that being said, I'm Eric. You can follow me at Scooby Shag. Most people don't, so I'm lonely. I'm so no. That's okay. I try to write things, but sometimes I forget. Frank is at the Arctic Sloth. Is it Arctic Sloth or the Arctic Sloth?
The Arctic Sloth.
You damn straight. Not Arctic Sloth. The Arctic Sloth, not the other one. Yeah. And John, I can't keep up with what yours is anymore. John is at Garfep, and follow him. Follow him. I think before that he was Agent Bizzle and McBiggity before that. It's hard to keep up. Or Scott_Bromley.
You can follow me at Nick_Scarpino.
And just oogle over that hairline, that beautiful widow's peak hairline. What is your Twitter handle now? Are you gonna change it again? Because don't even say it if you're gonna change it again. What's it gonna be?
I'm gonna just change it to my name. I'm gonna be professional.
I don't want to do that. See, I kind of want to do that, but I love that I have Scooby Shag and no number. Like, I love that.
No, I'm with you, and
Wait.
I want something like that, and I can't really think of anything, and I think I just want to have a neutral, just my name, and make it simple, and nothing that has any other meaning.
Yeah, but your
to
last
it.
name's Bernardo. Bernardo. Your last name's Bernardo. There's not necessarily a whole lot simple about that.
No,
could
but
just be
it's my name. It is like
John.
if you search for me, that's my name, and it's done, right? I have a boring name, but it is what it is.
It's not boring. It's complicated. It's like, what is that? Half Dutch? I don't know. What
I'm
is it?
Portuguese.
Portuguese? Where's that at? Is that French? Spanish?
Near Spain.
Is it really? How do you end up in Canada?
Don't.
Is your dad Portuguese? Your mom Portuguese? Hey,
Both.
listen, I'm not bashing Canada. I live in freaking Alabama. Trust me. Frank and I are in the worst situation between all of us. I promise you. So, was like second generation Canadian first?
I was born in Canada.
Okay. What? Y'all don't have states. What territory?
Provinces.
Provinces? Are those the same size, or is there a size
Don't be a fucking
requirement?
hoser, eh? Don't be a
I'm
hoser.
not. I'm genuinely wondering because I have no idea how this works.
We have provinces. I don't remember how
Do
many.
you have territories, or is that something else?
There's the Northwest Territories and the
Is that the
Yukon
thing with the
Territories.
ice road truckers?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm horrible at geography, and I might be getting this all wrong.
Oh, Canada.
Look at this luscious hair.
He likes touching himself.
Yeah. I used to have a shaved head like Franklin, and then I grew it out for the wedding, and now I'm a diva.
Makes sense. I used to have a shaved head, and then I was like, nope, too fat for that. And that was like 80 pounds heavier, so you don't even want to see that. It was gross. All right, well, that's it. We've been done for a while now. If you're still listening, you're not.
Sorry.
So, all right. That being said, not next time. Well, yes, come back next time, but next time will not be Wednesday. It'll be a Wednesday. It just won't be next Wednesday. We'll let you know. We'll let you know because we'll text you or have our wives tell you. Yeah, we'll see you around. See you next time. Later, guys. Have fun. Merry Christmas. Have fun, whatever you do with your family, selves, and other things. And love yourself. Be good to each other. Video games. Out.
Smell you later.
Cut.